It's yet another interesting moment in the studio, SaharaTv, to have one of the great Nigerian women's footballer. He served the country, played for Nigeria at the highest level, was former Super Falcons Defender, was with the Super Falcons in 2007, won the All Africa Games gold in August 2007, went to the Beijing Olympic Games in 2008, played at the youth level for the FIFA Under-17 World Cup, represented Nigeria in Canada in 2002, FIFA Under-19 also World Cup Under-19 in Thailand 2004. Without due introduction, because it's someone who has really done the country so proud, we have in the studio this moment Ayisat Yusuf Aromire. Welcome to the studio, Ayisat Yusuf Aromire. It's nice having you, and it's been a while. What have you been doing around?
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure being here today. Actually, I've been doing quite a lot because actually based in Europe, to be precise, in Finland. You know, after I got retired 10 years ago, and I gave it a thought that there is always life after football, and then I went into coaching course. So at the moment, I coach in Finland 3 different teams: FC Poho, GPS, and also some multicultural women group. And at the same time, I work with a firm there. It's called Monaliko, as a sport instructor and also a football coach. And also, I'm in the board of Fair Network, partnership with UEFA and cooperation with FIFA. Fair simply means fighting against racism in Europe. Having been the board, and also in Finland, I'm the deputy board of Sport for All Likoka in Finland. So all my life and every other stuff has been roundabout sports. So, and for me, it's really a good thing because it's something I have a great passion for. So
that's very interesting. And you're based in Finland. I want to ask, what informed your decision to stay in Finland with the level of cold and some other things that many people, complain about? Because I must be frank with you, I met with Bola Salami a few days ago, and he talked about the cold in Finland. Why? Why did you decide to choose Finland, even after your retirement?
To be honest, I played my professional football in different countries. I've actually played in Sweden, sometime in Germany, and then Finland, and then out again, and then in Finland. But why I actually picked Finland, because I remember then vividly 2005, I was given an invitation to play for a club there as a trial for just 2 weeks. But on getting there, fortunately, the team really liked the way I played, and they gave me a contract. So after like a year, I came back to Nigeria for a break. But to be sincere, Finland is a very cold country. But in life, at the point, you have to give it a thought that there's some time when you want to achieve what you're planning for. I've played in my country here for different clubs and different states, different teams. It's every player dream to play abroad. So being there, I didn't see the cold as something really as a barrier, so to say. Of course, then it was challenging, but I gave it a thought like, if I have to survive and also to pave way for others, I think I have to just face it. And along the line, I was so lucky because in the history of Finnish female team, I think I was the first, not just Nigeria, first African female player that played in the league, and I also actually played for up to the highest level in Finland. And of course, and when you think about life, having been in different countries and different cities, there's a lot when you compare and contrast, because Finland, one, is very safe. They have a very good hospitality. The country welcomes most of the immigrants. But the only 2 things that are very challenging in that country is just the code and the language, because the language is very complicated. And I think from my understanding, I heard that Finnish language is the 3rd most difficult language in the world. But even at that, for me, I have this thing in me that I don't easily give up failure or something. When they say something is difficult, I see it as, okay, even though people say it's difficult, for me, I just feel it's not difficult, it's just different. And I went to school to learn the language and other things, but I can see now I'm surviving with the language, because in Finland, if you have to have a good job there, you have to rub shoulder with people that are there, the white people there, you need to speak the language. And that for me is really a plus, because all I'm doing there is got to do with communications. So I speak the language, face the code. And I've only lived there for quite a while, like for 13 years now, got married in Nigeria, back to Finland. I gave birth to my children there, so everything is to the glory of God, everything is fine. So it's really a good thing for me to be there.
Yeah, that will lead me to the next question. What propelled you to go into coaching, if I may ask?
Sincerely, I go to coaching because I've got very, very strong passion for football and sport generally. And when I think about it, that okay, I haven't given this to my nation, played abroad, and I don't want to just quit it like that. Okay, because I play football, I got married, have children and stuff like that. And this is something I've got strong passion for, because for me, my story is quite different. When I was playing back in those days, I don't have parental support. Nobody want me to play football, you know. And I haven't come from a Muslim background where you have a lot of cultural barriers. Seeing you play football in the street among the boys, they say, oh, she's a wayward girl, she don't want to go to school and stuff like that. So I don't have any courage from my parents or people around me playing football back in those days. But at the same time, it got to a point whereby my story changed my community. Because when I had the breakthrough, my first World Cup in 2002 in Canada, and that was the first edition of underage and championship. So I haven't played there. My family saw me in the screen in Nigeria. My stories all around there. And then I remember this journalist called Mr. Iman Joku, because that was the first time my story was carried in the magazine. And the heading was like, you know, it was everywhere that my picture was there, and they were like, Ayisat was flogged for playing football, now she's a star. So everything turned around from grass to grace, and that was when my parents started getting proud of me in the street. When I walk in the street, people want to play with me, you know, ask me questions. So with this alone, it gave me a job. Like, at least through me, some parents can give their children also the chance to play football, because when you play football, they see that, okay, you are not responsible, you don't want to be a child that your family want to be proud of. But when you give them a proof that even when you play football, you can still do other things. So other people too will have the courage to make their children play football.
You played to the highest level, played for the Super Falcons, and now the team doesn't have a substantive coach. And now we are preparing for a major, you know, competition like that. It's coming up in a couple of weeks or months, if I may say now, and it's going to be WAFU maiden edition and without a coach. Now the NFF are saying that they want a foreign coach. Florence Omagbemi did her best. She led Nigeria to glory in 2016. Now the NFF are saying they want a. What is your take on this?
If I have to be sincere to you, I was heartbroken when I heard what happened. Though I watched some of the games, and actually I was in Nigeria when the tournament was won, because I was at the airport to welcome the girls and also Omagbemi. So I haven't heard that the NFL decided to change the technical crew, the coaches and all that. I felt really bad, because somehow when the other people out there celebrate you as a foreigner abroad, why your country don't see you as a celebrated heroes, it felt really bad. And for me, it's not really a good thing to keep changing coach. Of course, I'm not discriminating here. I'm not supporting anybody. Like, you know, I'm not trying to be sentimental here, but I'll just have to be honest with you. Because when you look at this crew, they play well, they won the Nations Cup, make the country proud, and then the FA decide to go for a foreign coach. For what reasons? For what purpose? If they want to change the coach, they have the right, but they should give good reasons, not because the girls fought for their rights. Because the same thing that happened to the girls in 2016 actually happened to me when I was playing back in those days in 2004. I remember very vividly. We played in the South Africa Nations Cup. I haven't won the championship. They refused to pay our dues, so we refused to come to Nigeria. It went like really embarrassing. Like, and then it was the president Olusegun Obasanjo. He actually called and spoke to our captain Kekaloma Ajayi and Yinka Kuda. He said that we should come back home, and we said, sir, not that we don't want to come, but if our money is not being paid, we are not going to leave South Africa. So at the point, you know, it was so embarrassing, and they sent the money down to South Africa. On getting to Nigeria, the president said we should fly to Abuja straight away. Yeah, of course, everyone is scared because you don't know what will happen to you, even though our monies are being paid. So when we got there, we saw him face to face, told him what really happened. Because for him, he doesn't even know why we don't want to come to Nigeria, because, you know, when things happen over there, when they got down here, the story changes and every other thing. And most of these things swept under the carpet. Nobody knows what you're going through, what you're facing in the camp. So when I came back last year, I actually went for an interview, and I said the same thing, because it actually affected the same coach that took us there. It's Coach Godwin Izile. When we came back, this man was fired the same way, that, okay, these guys are doing this, why can't you stop this guy from not protesting for their rights? But for crying out loud, how long do we keep on doing this? Some things have to be eradicated, you know, because up there in abroad, of course, their football grows a lot, they develop and everything. The thing is that, not that they're better than us, but the thing is that they put the right people at the right position. So when they came back and they told them, oh, because you fight for your rights, It's this country I say that freedom of speech is a crime. Because at a point in life, someone has to stand for somebody. We can't just keep quiet. I'm not saying it because I want to be a coach of Falcon. If God's willing, fine. But sometimes in life, when things are going wrong, you have to just speak out. We all cannot just keep quiet because you are scared of, okay, because they're going to like yell at you, scold you, or whatever. But at the point in life, the truth has to be said. Okay, now they kick off all this technical crew because they want the nation and they protest for their right. By right, my dear brother, even if you do something in your country, you need to be honored as a citizen. You need to be like celebrated. That's what they do out there. So why all these things happen? If there's no stop on this, it should still continue the same way. Okay, now they say, okay, they don't want the coach anymore. They go for a foreign coach, and the girls are there, no camp, no training, nothing. And when the tournament time comes, we expect them to go and do wonders there. It doesn't happen that way. You need to prepare to succeed in life because the road to success is always tough and rough.
Tell us more about your project because I know it's Fan Network. That's Football Against Racism in Europe, in partnership with Monaliku and She Football. I want you to throw more light on this because when people hear all of this, they may not really understand because I know you are standing up for, fighting for the girl child and the women as well.
Sure.
So I want you to shed more light on this project that you have embarked upon, the benefit, and what the football fraternity, football itself stands to benefit from this project you are embarking upon.
Firstly, I will really want to appreciate Fair Network because having been the board, it's not really enough for me to say I will not appreciate them. They really tried. I remember the last meeting we had in Munich, I talked about African stuff. Of course, I know that we have a lot of talented players in the streets, a lot of girls that can play good football, but there's no one out there to motivate them, to inspire them and tell them, oh, come on, you can do this. So during the meeting, I talked to Fair about having this t-shirt because this t-shirt I'm putting on is actually from Fair and they don't sell this. So there's a campaign they do like every year in summer, although it's only in European countries. They call it Football Action Week, like every 1 or 2 weeks. In Finland, I'll always be the one, coordinating these and working with my partners there. So I discussed with them that, okay, since this thing is going on, because I actually have to work this to make some campaign about discrimination, racism and all that in abroad, because he actually played in Man City and he's a big player as well. And, sometime in life, I felt if you have an opportunity and something is going on out there, why can't you bring it to your own country to let other people too felt your part? And then I discussed with them like, okay, I've been working with this All-Stars like yearly thing. I've been contributing a lot there, my quotas, and just how to encourage this young girl. They told me it's going to cost them a lot. I said, that, okay, fine, I have my own money I spend like yearly. So like I support them for my own personal finances. So when I discussed with them that, okay, let me bring this to Africa, they told me, okay, fine, we can write a proposal, which I did. And why I appreciate them a lot is that, they give some support with t-shirts and some foundings just to support me to bring this to Africa, because this is first of its kind. They only do this in Europe. So when I got to where I was working, which is Monaliku, I discovered this with my boss, and actually we tried to rub heads together to see what kind of name I have to give to this, if I have to have my own brand in Nigeria. So at the point I got to see this name, She Football. And why I choose this She Football is that because what I'm doing got to do with girls and women, to encourage the young girls, to educate them, to inspire them, and also to empower women out there, and also to make to give chance for some women to make decisions, either in the board or in the sport or whichever way. And that's when the name She Football came out, because the logo I just want to pass the message that it's got to be with only women. And of course, that doesn't stop me from helping the guys in another way. But why I say this is because in Nigeria, they focus more on the male part. And I said that, okay, when I bring this to Nigeria, since I have a very good cooperation with the All-Stars people here in Nigeria, I have some people that I can call and they will always want to give me attention and give me audience. And for the players, they see me as a role model. And for me, I felt I'm not doing enough, and I think I have to do more to make this player feel my impact in the country. I haven't played for the national team, played with some club side, and also, contributing a lot in abroad. So when I got back to Nigeria, I met the LOC All-Star, I discussed it with them. I had a banner, I went to some schools to play some tournament with this guy, and I told them that the reason why I have this brand is just because I want to encourage this young girl. Because for me, I believe most of those guys you see playing in the street, they're going through a lot. Some of them will go to training, they don't even have money for transportation. After training, no food to eat, stuff like that, because it was what I went through. So I know I could feel their pain. I knew what they really want. If they see someone to encourage them, they would give more. So I told them, I said, okay, I have this because I want to inspire them. I want to encourage them. I want to educate them with football, because playing football is not even enough. Because education, to be honest with you, education is very important in whatever you're doing in life. And then I just believe, oh, these children have aspirations. Just need someone to just give them a push and make their dream come true. So this is why I have this in mind, that I need to have my own brand, and I really want to register it to make it like, a legal registration in Nigeria, and also because abroad I have some people that I can talk to. I have some collaborators. I have some cooperation with people out there. And if I don't start this, who will? Of course, we have a lot of us that are playing football, that have played in the past years, have retired, and you don't bring something back to the community. So if you're doing something and people in your country don't feel you, for me, you're not even doing yourself a good, because you can just walk in the street. Okay, fine. I say, okay, I'm okay. God has blessed me. I'm fine. What about those that are there? They just need just a little support to make them feel, oh, in tomorrow they can look up to you. Oh, she's my inspiration. She inspired me to be who I am today. Because whatever you're doing in life, I so much believe in one thing, that to be at the top is not the priority, but maintaining it, and also the life you touch positively goes a long way, because no one knows tomorrow. So whatever I did to make this girl happy, I never regret, not even a bit, because it's my joy to make them feel me and to make them feel, oh, somebody is out there to help them as well.
I want you to compare what happened during your own playing time when you were playing in the league and what is obtainable now, because I know you come home more often and you know what is going on in terms of administration and otherwise. How would you compare what has happened during your playing time and what is obtainable now?
Sincerely, there's no comparison, because I remember those days when I was playing Nigerian league. I actually played for like 5 different teams in different states, and I captained 3 of the teams. Those days, actually, there was not much money being paid, like, each money, salaries and sign-on fee. But the most important thing is that then the league was very competitive. It was very challenging, and you can see the fun, you can see the happiness, and also the FA, they put more interest in those days when I was playing. But nowadays it's quite different, and it's really, really sad, because if I take a look at it now, like the Nigerian league is really dying. To be honest, it's really dying. Like, most of the player complains, because most of all these players, both in the league and the national team, they're all my friends. We communicate day in, day out. Sometimes they complain, oh, and tell you, we don't have money here. They tell you have not been paid. Our allowances have not been paid. And sometimes when you look after the league, most of these players will still remain in the club side, because they don't even have money to get transportation back to their home. And when you go home after living home for like 8 or 9 months, come back to your parents and nothing to offer, do you think the parent will be happy to let you leave the house? They would definitely no parent will want to hear or see that, oh, my child is out there suffering, and now she or she come back home giving same story all the time. And those like these guys, they have what it takes to play good football, but where is the encouragement? Where is the motivation? What are our leaders doing? If you put the wrong leader in the wrong position, believe me, nothing is gonna work. Because the thing is, most of this club side, they complain most times, okay, the FA, the government are not paying. Sometimes they even got it twisted. I don't even know who to blame. Maybe the government or the league or the club side or the other NFF. The same story every time, every now and then. The only thing that changes during my playing days and now is just, okay, now football is more or less a business. The money is huge. Sometimes you only hear the money, yeah, oh, they pay this a particular amount to a player, sign-on fee. But when the player complain, oh, they're holding us like 3 or 4 months salaries. Over there, it's not happening there. Even sometimes when for example, if your salary is going to be paid on the 26th and the 26th got to be like a weekend, like Saturday, they pay you up front. Because they believe that before the weekend, you need money to keep for your upkeep and also to take care of yourself and your family at home. But in Nigeria, I don't know. Maybe I think the FA and the club side need to have good sponsorship. They need to go out there, because I think in Nigeria we have a lot of money, huge money in this country. But the thing is that most people out there, there's too much sentiment in the league, in the club side, and nobody wants to help, because when the money comes at the point, the division of labor is everywhere. Everybody wants to have the money on them. They don't want to spread it out there. But you need to consider this player, their welfare, their upbringing, how they feel. Because you don't expect a good player that does not eating anything to go to the field and play good football when he or she doesn't have anything on her stomach to eat. So if they do the right thing, I think the football in Nigeria is going to grow, and we're going to compete with people out there. Because for me, I don't see any different with most of the players I've played both home and abroad. I see each different. But when you compare and contrast, it's totally different thing.
What is your advice for the young and upcoming players out there? Very briefly.
My advice to them is that I think that these 4 letter Ds, they should always have at the back of their mind. Dedication, they should be dedicated to whatever they're doing. Determination, anything they put their mind, they should have focus and determine. Discipline is very important, it's very vital. Whichever position you have today in life, try to be disciplined. And also devotion. They need to be devoted and respect not just the coach, the elders, the parents, and also know the kind of companies and friends they keep, because it says that bad companies corrupt good manners. When they keep their focus, trust me, the sky is not even enough for them to soar higher.
It's a pleasure having you at SaharaTv coming around, and I know that when next we call you, you definitely come around and to answer our call. So it's a pleasure talking to you in the studio, Ayisat Yusuf Aromire. So thank you for coming around, and I wish you well as you forge ahead in the project that you have in your hand.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here.